Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today I have a very different style of video for you guys. Today I wanted to go back and take a look at the Call of Duty World War II headquarters, because I feel as though this feature was an incredible innovation, and I hope to see it not only expanded upon in future Call of Duty games, but rather I hope to see it become a mainstay staple within the Call of Duty franchise. So going all the way back to the launch of World War II in November of 2017, the headquarters was instantly beloved by the player base, but for those of us that actually were there, we know it had a bunch of issues, right? The main issue was it didn't work 99% of the time. Throughout the first month of World War II being out, everybody's headquarters was basically empty unless you were to invite your friends in to join you. It felt a lot less like a social space and a lot more like an individual player house where you could go and pick up contracts and interact with NPCs and do things like that. Well, after about a month's time, the headquarters matchmaking finally started working, though unfortunately it didn't work all the time, and throughout the entire year, there would always be these random times or random days where you would load into the headquarters and you would be there all by yourself. Now, despite all the issues on the technical side, however, when the headquarters was working properly, it was a really awesome feature. There is definitely something to be said about the idea of adding RPG elements into a Call of Duty game, though obviously that's a pretty tough thing to pull off, because if you look back at pretty much every Call of Duty title, the character you play as is a random soldier who is randomly assigned to a faction, and you're using whatever weapons you wanted to use, and the gameplay is really far from realistic. Like, for example, if you go back to World at War or even World War II, you could be on the American side running around with a Russian weapon, or on the German side using a Japanese weapon, or so on and so forth. It's really far from realistic. Well, despite this though, Call of Duty has slowly but surely been trying to sprinkle in RPG elements into each game's multiplayer, and I think that's something they should continue to expand upon in future Call of Duty games. I want you guys to think back to COD 4, or even Modern Warfare Remastered if you didn't play the original game. Before COD 4 came out, the first couple Call of Duty games, you couldn't really customize anything. You basically were randomly assigned to a team, and then you would pick a class based on that team, and you went about your matches, right? Well, in Call of Duty 4, they made so we could create our classes and customize how we played the game by choosing our attachments as well as our perks. We also had various progression paths that you could go down, whether that was getting kills to unlock new attachments for your weapons, or getting headshots to unlock new camos, or simply leveling your character up so you could unlock different weapons, perks, as well as prestige icons. Even though your character was just a nameless soldier randomly fighting for various factions, you were still in full control of that soldier, and you could become stronger by playing the game, by unlocking different weapons and different attachments. Well, after Modern Warfare 2 came out, they continued the idea of progressing your in-game character by adjusting the perk system to include pro perk challenges, which of course would make your perks even stronger after you leveled them up. Now, of course, I did do a full-length video discussing the history and the legacy of Call of Duty Pro perks, so I'm not going to reiterate the entire thing here today, but that's just another example of the Call of Duty developers taking the COD multiplayer formula and expanding it with elements from the RPG genre. Then, of course, in later years, we would start getting the ability to choose our characters and customize their outfits, whether that was the soldiers that we had back in Call of Duty Ghosts, or even the specialists from the Black Ops franchise. After a while, character customization started to become more and more of a staple feature within Call of Duty, but then in World War II, we got a place to run around as those characters. Though admittedly, the soldier selection was very limited in World War II, it was still interesting to know that you had a character that was all your own, and then from there, you could customize their uniforms, as well as their emotes, and even the weapon that they had on their backs while you ran around the headquarters. The headquarters itself was a great place just to hang out and do whatever you basically wanted to do with your buddies or the other people in the headquarters, but of course there was also a bunch of functionality that came with the HQ. Now obviously later on in the Call of Duty World War II lifecycle, they would add a bunch of the headquarters functionality into the menu screens, which you would think would kill off the headquarters entirely, but it didn't, and the reason why is because the headquarters is fun. People love going there to either interact with the NPCs and use the functionality that way, or simply just run around and hang out with their buddies. There was so much to do, whether it was the firing range, or the 1v1 pit, or the minigame section, or the score streak station, or basically anything, right? Picking up contracts from Major Howard, or talking to the quartermaster to get weapon variants. There was so much for you to do within the headquarters, and even though you didn't have to go there, people still went because there's something that's so fun about hanging out with a bunch of other people within a Call of Duty game. Another aspect of the headquarters that I really liked would be how it evolved over time with the different events, right? We had Winter Siege come out, and then suddenly the headquarters is all snowy and holiday themed, and then when Shamrock and Awe came out, suddenly it's St. Patrick's Day themed. Then all the other events that we had as well all had different themes for the headquarters, and all the little Easter eggs within the headquarters would also change up as well. I'll have to go back and check, but I'm 99% sure that the very first video I made for Call of Duty World War II when the game first came out was showing people how to get on top of the headquarters and find the Sledgehammer Easter egg. It was little things like that that made me love spending time within the headquarters, and I want to reiterate it one more time that this was only the first time that we've ever had anything like this in the Call of Duty franchise. If you look at other features that have come out over the years, typically, not always, but typically the first iteration of a new feature in the Call of Duty franchise is not the best one. Typically, the best version comes 2 or 3 years later after they continue expanding upon it. So because of that, I feel as though if they were to create a new social space for a future Call of Duty game, say with Call of Duty 2020 or even Call of Duty 2021, I feel as though that social space would be bigger and better than the World War II headquarters. A few suggestions I have if they were to do that would be to add a better prestige area that's more of a main stage so more people can actually see it, as well as make the in-game event for winning prestige a lot more flashy and noticeable. I would also like to see more gameplay features being incorporated into the NPC characters within the social space, which gives us even more reason to actually go in there. And I would also like more things for players to do, like picking up specific challenges within the social space that give you specific rewards that you can use in-game, and then of course also show off within the headquarters itself. I think the big thing would be the ability to customize your character more though, right? We keep talking about this idea of adding more RPG elements into the Call of Duty franchise. Well, if you think about it, there have been male and female models in Call of Duty for ages now, and they all more or less have the same height as well as the same hitboxes. So with that being the case, why not just incorporate a feature which allows us to completely customize our character's hairstyle, facial hair, tattoos, voices, as well as skin color? It just seems like a no-brainer, right? All these things are already in games like Call of Duty World War II and Modern Warfare, so why not add a simple feature to allow the swapping in and out of these options so you can fully customize your character like a traditional RPG game? Now obviously that's going to be difficult depending on the game itself, right? Because there's different factions and typically these factions look a lot different, but then when you look at a game like Modern Warfare, the appearances of the characters are all just pretty much random. I mean, there's virtually no difference in aesthetic between the soldiers of the Allegiance and the Coalition, so more RPG elements could definitely be a thing in Call of Duty going forward if they have the faction balancing like they have it here within Modern Warfare. But going back to it, guys, the headquarters in World War II was way ahead of its time. I truly hope that we have another social space like this in future Call of Duty games, because in my opinion, it adds a lot of replay value to the game when you can get invested in doing things outside of simply playing the traditional multiplayer and leveling up. If there's more things for you to do, a place for you and your friends to go hang out in between matches, that would be really cool. I've done a few videos covering this already, but the leaks and the rumors are saying that Treyarch is going to be heading Call of Duty 2020 with Sledgehammer Games assisting them, and then after that, Sledgehammer Games is rumored to be working on an open world free-to-play Call of Duty title for 2021, which, interestingly enough, is also going to be releasing alongside Infinity Ward's new Modern Warfare game. So we're going to be getting a lot of Call of Duty games in the very near future, according to the leaks, so take it with a pinch of salt, but according to the leaks, that's what's going to be happening. So I think it's definitely possible that something like the World War II headquarters could be returning in the near future, given the fact that Sledgehammer Games is going to be helping with 2 of the 3 games that are said to be coming out. But I'd love to know what you guys think about this. What do you guys think about the Call of Duty World War II headquarters? Did you enjoy all the features that it had as much as I did? And would you like to see something like that return in future games? I don't know, man. I hopped on World War II the other day after doing some challenges on Modern Warfare, and I ran around the headquarters for the first time in a while, and I just thought to myself, this was an awesome feature, and that's what inspired this video here today. I know I was kind of all over the place, but I feel as though if they were to add more RPG elements to the Call of Duty franchise, that would only be a positive for the series, and I would love to hear what you guys think about that down in the comments. So please leave your thoughts and feedback down below. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider leaving it a like. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.